F1 stock cars have a grading system. White, yellow, blue, red with amber flashing lights are the superstar grades. F1 stock cars go anti-clockwise, rolling start. Today it's a 10 car field. These cars have 2 gears only, plus a reverse. V8 Chevrolet engines, top speed of 140 miles per hour, 800 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, rear wheel drive, weighing in at 1500 kilos and contact allowed. Approaching the start line with the drone of Lancaster bombers, being laid out by 326 Mark Sargent of Spalding, 259 Paul Hines of Pinkley, 345 Jake Harry of Coventry, and James Hall Morton of Cleckheaton. Listen to the screech of those tyres clawing the surface looking for adhesion. Taking an early lead of 3 car lengths down the back straight is 132 James Hall Morton. Number 515 Frankie Wainman Jnr emerging now in the lead, followed by 212 Danny Wainman and 175 Carl Hawkins in close attendance for third. Seizing the lead on the back straight is Carl Hawkins from car 276 Mark Poole, right in front of the order, but taking the corner broadsides, sending Jake Harry fishtailing up the front straight like a shopping trolley on 3 wheels. Meanwhile, it's 4 abreast behind your leader. 175 Carl Hawkins with no shortage of ambition, steamrolling through, looking for the lead as we enter lap 3. Jake Harry has launched it up the back straight with a commanding lead of 4 car lengths, but folds like a wet towel on the corner, being eclipsed by 217 Lee Farers. Paul Hines is looking dangerous on the inside. 326 Mark Sargent not taking any prisoners either. Things getting serious as they spin on the rear straight, but Lee Farers holding out like the last man at the Alamo, heading into the corner like a cruise missile. Broadsides the corner after a shunt from 212. 1 lap to go and it's James Hall Morton, followed by 3 abreast, 217, 175 and treble 5 Frankie Wainman Jr. 3 abreast on the back streets, all to play for with half a lap to go. Still hugging the inside line is 259 Paul Hines. It's his to lose. 515 Frankie Wainman is going and takes it on the line, demonstrating his triple world crown credentials. He swapped ends on the apex of the corner, sitting stationary facing the oncoming traffic. What a race of excitement from start to finish. There's your result. The top 4 places going to 515 Frankie Wainman Jr. That's the first and only another 11 races to go this weekend.
515 was steaming in so fast at the finish, he spun after the line.
The Frankie Wainman interview coming up shortly. Meanwhile, you can check out more live action here on SLR.tv. Check out our Autosport 2024 playlist. You'll get more BriSCA F1 action. Together with, you can have a look at what else we've captured in the live action arena.
Think yourself lucky you're in the stands, everybody. We've just got showered in something I didn't really want to get showered in today.
All over. Well,
they are the biggest and the best things that we have here, aren't they?
They are. I'll tell you how I feel. Woo wah wee wah. That's how I feel.
Woo wah
wee wah. And that is written in my script, Crofty.
Yeah, right. Let's have a look now at something else.
I tell you what, this doesn't sound right, but I'm going to take you to the swamps.
Take me to the swamps?
Yeah. Stay with me. I want to introduce you to my new ride.
Your new ride, Emma Walsh?
Yeah, it is perfect for the shops, the school run, and it's super easy to park, right? All you need to do is drive up and then drive over.
So now let's head over to the Autosport drive-in stage and meet the man and his car, Frankie Wainman Jr.
Welcome back to the Autosport Stage here at Autosport International. We're about to get our final guest here onto the stage and find out all about BriSCA F1. They're very noisy, they're very loud, they're very exciting, they're very, very quick. Before we bring our guest out, let's bring out the car itself. Let's welcome into the arena the BriSCA F1, driven by Frankie Wainman. Here he comes. Cover your ears, folks, he's about to take some noise. So far, it's the only thing that's destroyed our mat. Well done there. Thanks very much to Frankie Wainman Jr. bringing in his BriSCA F1 car. Let's hear from the man. How you doing? You all right? the noisiest of all the things we've had so far in the arena, and all of a sudden you can't see it's because we've got that huge advertising wing there on too. So let's welcome onto the stage Frankie Wainman Jnr. and breathe in the fumes of that BriSCA F1. First of all, polite applause there, a smattering of polite applause. Now, first of all, it's great to see you here. I know that BriSCA F1 has been a big part of the live action arena show as well, and it's great to see one of these in the hall and actually hear it start and fire up inside the NEC as well, in this sort of room. For yourself, how long have you been a part of this, and tell us a bit about your history?
Yeah, we've been involved with the NEC right from the very start, the very first year. 25 years, I think it is this year. We've been every year. It's a massive, part of the show. We love coming here, the noise indoors, the spectacle, the contact that we have. We try and get as much as we can indoor, which we're not supposed to, but that's what makes us so great here. And then obviously the noise.
For those who don't have any idea what they're looking at right now, or even what BriSCA F1 is, because there are some of the most bizarre-looking cars we get in this sort of show.
Yeah, absolutely. The full contact, 650 brake horsepower racing cars. The technology in them these days is just so high that the engines, everything about them, to make it what we do, and it's a full contact sport. The atmosphere at meetings, the big meetings, absolutely unbelievable. You have to actually be there to get involved with it. It's been absolutely brilliant.
I've sat in the live action arena and I've seen when you guys do your demo runs, and I use this term way too often, but it's a visceral experience. The whole thing just runs through you. Your chest goes, everything goes. What's it like inside?
Yeah, exactly the same. No, exactly the same. And obviously indoor, you're trying to put a show on, but you're trying to get the spectacle across. And obviously, we're a little bit different to most farmers. It doesn't actually matter if we eat each other. We do eat each other, but obviously indoor you've got to be a little bit careful. But we try and get a bit of that into there for people to see what we actually do at full-on meetings.
And tell us where these meetings occur. What sort of venues we're looking at?
Yeah, well, we race all over the UK. Next year's BriSCA's 70th year. It's our 70th year next year. We've got a 6,000th meeting coming up. So we've got a full season planned for next year. A lot of things happening.
Next year being 2025 or
no, 24. This
the one we're
on.
That's only not.
So obviously the World Championships at Skegness on the 14th of September. All the drivers are going to be going for that. It's going to be an absolutely superb evening. And then obviously we've got a revised shootout series for this season, for the end of the season, for the points, which has always been absolutely brilliant over the last few years. So we've got a good season planned.
And what venues are they? What tracks are we looking at?
We race everywhere from Scotland right down to Ipswich, Kings Lynn, Northampton, Skegness, obviously. We race everywhere. If you come and join us on our standing, we've got fixture lists there for people to take away. There's usually a stadium within an hour of where everybody lives. So.
Brilliant, and we're talking oval racing here. We're talking these big arenas for people to come and have a look at it. These 650. This is a V8, 6-litre V8.
Yeah.
Produces a lot of power.
Yes.
Presumably, there's a lot of metal work there, but presumably it weighs relatively low numbers.
1,350 kilos, 1,350 kilos. So yeah, they're good. And obviously, our formulas designed where in normal races the faster guys start right at the back. So every race is full on. So like every race, Tom Harris will start at the very back cars, and we're fighting his way through. So everything is happening from lap 1 to lap 16. So
how many cars per race?
We're up to 36 cars in some races.
Holy cow!
And on a short oval like Skegness, fast tarmac, it is chaos, and the racing is absolutely superb.
So how did you get involved? When we look at things like rallycross, or we look at autocross to start with, autocross seems to be a big family affair. You get mum or dad or both sharing one car, kids get involved as well. Is it similar when it comes to...
Yeah, very similar. Obviously I was born into it, my dad raced, back in the 70s and 80s, I was born into it, same now my kids have followed through, and that's just how it comes about. But we've got a lot of people getting interested in the formula now from other formers like the grassers. We've got a few grassers coming in, and having a go and being successful, which is good because it's not as expensive as people think it could be. You could spend as much as you want, but to win, you don't have to spend millions of dollars. So.
What sort of money are you looking at, if you don't mind me asking?
That car there's like 75 grand. but like you can pick cars up, reasonable racing, like good cars, 15, 20 grand, and you're out there racing and being successful.
Now it generates quite a lot of excitement because of the noise, because of that experience. And it's not just the noise, the smell, the sights, the sounds, the whole it all goes together, doesn't it? And just looking around here as well, you bring one of these things into the arena, into this arena. We don't get these things firing up in this sort of hall. Normally they say no. But Ben, the organizer of this, he had this idea to let some of these cars fire up, and it just means we get to hear them for ourselves. So put us in your position. You climb into that. You're in the pits and you drive out. Tell us what it's like, what's going on.
Obviously a world final, you're coming out, so first car out into that, you know, onto the track. The atmosphere is just electric. You know, it goes through, it still goes through me now, and I've done it for 30 or 37 years or whatever I've raced. It still goes through you. The adrenaline kicks in. You know, them spectators, they don't bother who wins, they just want to see a brilliant race, if that makes sense. And usually we would turn on a brilliant race, and the racing's so close. You know, we don't have cars just zipping off into the distance and walking races. Every race is earned and won by a good driver.
You can tell when you're onto something exciting by the number of phones that get out and start videoing and things as well, and it does bring that to it.
Yeah.
For yourself then, in your racing career, I mean, say you got involved 37 years ago.
Yeah.
What's been your career highlight or highlights, if you want to give us a few? I know I don't want to pick your favourite child, but go on.
No, it's don't do that. No, obviously the World Long Track Championship, I won the last ever one of those in Holland, which was a special meeting for me. Obviously the track shut down after that. That was a kilometre oval. Ridiculous speeds down the straight, 120, 130 mile an hour, back in sort of the 80s, you know what I mean, not the technology we've got now. Obviously 3 World Championships, I've won of them, 3 World Championships in New Zealand. So obviously, you know, they all have a special place in my heart. All the British Championships, I think I've won 9 Britishes, so yeah.
So which country do you think is the most competitive?
Which country? New Zealand's an experience. The very first time I raced in New Zealand, I had people say to me, look, you need to watch this driver, be careful with this driver. And I just took them all out in first race. And they all went, why are you doing that? I said, well, get them before they get me. And that's how I put my mark on over there. And I've won 3 times over there. You know, people were saying that's not the right way to do it, but I have my own way of racing. If you race hard, they respect you. And I've had a brilliant career over there. I've loved every year. We're going over on Monday to do the 240s again next weekend. The team's coming up in February again, so you know we're all going into that. Yeah.
When we look at different forms of racing, we look at different setups you can do for the different circuits or different layouts you're having. And you just hinted just there that you know there are some circuits and tracks, ovals that are longer than others.
Absolutely.
So what can you do, or what do you do to the car to set it up for different layouts? I mean, I know the layout's the same.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Every track has a different setup. We all have scales, we set the car different, the corner, each way on the corner. So obviously we just turn left, but each way...
Tighter lefts, aren't they? Yours are straight.
Yes, obviously the gearing, we can alter the gearing for every track to suit whichever track you're racing on. Drivers all run different gearings to suit their engine, how they want to drive. You know, there's a lot of technical stuff goes into it now. You know, they're not just big clumsy cars you jump in and go and race. You know, there is a big technical side to it of these cars, the setup, tyres, the amount of tread you've got on tyres. You know, there's a lot of things that you have to work with as a track slick out. You know, everything comes to you and you have to alter things.
So what is the appeal for an audience point of view? Because I mean, I love rallycross, I love speedway, I love the short form racing as much as I love the long form racing. I work in British GT, so I like 3-hour races. I also like the 5-lap World Rallycross races too. So tell us what the appeal is, not just from your point of view, but from what you think the spectators. It might seem an obvious question, but...
Yeah, well, literally, every meeting we have heats. You know, we're qualifying heats, which we qualify through to the final. Like I said, the faster drivers always start at the back, so you have constantly got position changing in the race. You've got drivers fighting their way through, and this is contact, so they're getting hit out the way, they're crashing out the way, you're moving them out the way. You know, the object is to move the car and leave it there for your opponent to get past because they're coming through behind you. There's a lot of technical side. It's not just simple stuff, you know. And obviously, and you move up to your meeting final, which everybody wants to win. 20 laps, again, the faster cars are all at the back. So you've got to work hard every lap.
Yeah, and safety is a huge part of it as well, because I think sometimes people might be of the opinion that when you start talking about this sort of racing, safety goes out the window, but it's far from that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we all have to run the hands devices now, full seats, everything. The cars are fully certified and checked. Everything's got to be right. I mean, obviously, everything's moved on with health and safety and that these days, but obviously we've kept ahead of everything as much as we can. You know, we've got an absolutely superb safety record, you know, within the sport, and that's due to the drivers within it, really.
I think it's amazing. It's great, fantastic to see it in here. It's even better to hear it fire up as well. Now, people have never heard of BriSCA and they want to find out more about yourself and about the championship. What do they do?
Yeah, just get online, just jump on the BSCDA or BriSCA, or just click my name and you'll get links through, and go and have a look. Seriously, if you want a superb night out, you know, there'll be a track local to any person, and just get there and see if you enjoy the evening. I don't think I've ever met one person that's been to a meeting and gone, "Nah, this isn't for me." You know, they all love it in some way. You know, the fact they can come in the pits, they can go up to the drivers, they can talk to the drivers. You know, we've had some links with the touring car drivers. They've done a few races last year and the year before with us, and obviously we've had their fans there at meetings, and they can't believe that they can just come up and talk to you, and that they're talking to the touring car drivers that they've followed for years. But in our job, it's so open, and we just chat to whoever we can and get people involved, families involved. And yeah.
Were they any good?
Yeah, they were.
Were they?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they did. I think last year, 2 years now, and last year a lot of people wanted to do it. They had the full-on race, and they absolutely loved it. And they appreciate that. Obviously, our cars are not as technical as theirs in the fact that we don't have traction control or that sort of stuff. And they're asking questions like, "Well, when you drive it with your foot, or you drive it with your head?" Oh. So the computer doesn't do it for you? No, this is a stock car. You do it with your foot and you do it with your head. And they get it all, and it was absolutely superb.
Amazing. Please do check it out, BriSCA F1. Check out as well Frankie and see what he's up to. So the next meeting for you?
Our first meeting will be Kingsley in April, when we get back, sorry, March. In March, yeah. So, yeah.
You're travelling all over the place.
Yeah, so we're going to...
Anywhere there's speedway.
Anywhere there's speedway, we'll go and do it, yeah.
Amazing stuff. Please do check it out, BriSCA F1, and please show your appreciation for Frankie Wainman Jnr. Great stuff. Thanks for bringing the car in too. Thank you. And we'll get that fired up one more time so we can have a little listen of that V8 rumble. That's it for us here though on the main stage here, Autosport Stage, for another day. Back tomorrow. If you're around tomorrow, then we'd love to see you here. We've got the former Haas team principal, Gunther Steiner, here opening the show. He's going to be on the stage with David Croft, and we're catching him a little bit later on as well. Loads happening. If you are heading home right now, have a safe journey, but we do hope to see you back here another day. Thank you.
Oh, there's more to come from Autosport. Well, this is the bit at the end of the day when everybody has to pack up and get home. The show just keeps getting better and better here at Autosport. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time out. Toot toot, beep beep, see ya.
Showered in something I didn't really want to get showered in today.
All over. Well,
they are the biggest and the best that